Now that you've completed each of the tutorials, you're going to have to actually practice trading in order to become a better trader. Tutorials are great. Watching the live educational room is great, but absolutely nothing will help you prepare for trading live money in the real market than practicing trading on the live market. Now, we have an added benefit with NinjaTrader. You're able to download and replay every day in the market. So you can actually go back and day trade last week and you can day trade yesterday. And one of the recipes that we've found that's been very successful is to simulate during the day and then at the end of the day go back and run market replay and retrade the day and correct any mistakes that you might have made. So let me show you how to download and get started on market replay. I'll give you one more quick visual on what you'll see on your charts when you do market replay. This is an example of one of our clients who's been practicing during the day and doing market replay after the day. You can see he's writing his rules on the chart. So regular trend trades or trades from the edges. And what he'll do then is he'll actually go in during market replay and he'll turn on the automated strategy at the spot where his rules are met. So he'll go in and not only take the trades with the reversal bars from the right spots, but he'll practice his trade management as well. So again, this will give you the ability, and I just kind of wanted you to see the visual. Take a look at your large chart, write the rules on your 5-1 chart, and then practice the entries from your market flow chart. And what you'll end up with is really a very, very good practice, number one. And then number two, you'll start to see how much financial potential there is. Let's say in this case, he's trading 2 contracts. So for this particular morning, had he have taken all of the signals and done it properly, there was $2,500 in potential with the trade setups. So what you're working towards is closing the gap between theory, practice, and then real world application on your charts. And again, keep in mind, our objectives are to make $400 a day per contract. In this case, he made $1,200 plus for the day, so obviously 3 times the objectives. So let's get it into how to download data and how to set up your charts to do market replay. So there's a process to it. Number one, if you just have standard NinjaTrader, you're going to go into File and Utilities, and you're going to download replay data. And essentially, let's just say yesterday's, right? So we can go to crude oil or gold if you wish, and we can say, okay, today's the 29th, let's download the 28th, and then we'll say okay to that, and you'll see it'll actually download that data. And if you want to do more than one day, you just go back in and you just go download replay data, make sure you select gold again, and then do the 27th. And you can literally in just a minute or two download a week's worth of data. If you've got software and you've had software for a while and you want to be a little more fancy, you can go in. There's a little service called marketreplay.net. You can visit their website. And what it does is it allows you to download multiple contracts at the same time, multiple days at the same time. And it also allows you to download a continuous contract. And the reason that this is important is because, crude oil every month has a new contract. So if you go back, let's just say to February, instead of having to say, okay, what month was February's or what month was November's, and making sure you download the right month and you're practicing on the right month, you have this little continuous contract data. And, if you buy that service, $150 for the year, I really think it's worth it, especially when you're learning. It will add in this little batch download replay data feature, which is really neat. And I use it all the time. And what it will do is it will allow you to add symbols like, let's just say the euro US dollar. And you see the little 2 hashtags. That means that it's continuous contract data. Crude oil data. S&P data if I wanted to, gold data if I want. And I can actually go in and I can say, give me from Sunday all the way to right now, and download the continuous contracts. And I can go in and download this, and it's going to, again, there's no data on Christmas, but it's going to go in and download all of those days and all of those contracts very, very easily for me without me having to go in and do one market and one day at a time. Again, this is something that's optional for you. It's not necessary. You can just download 2, 3, 4, 5 days worth of data without any trouble and go do market replay practice without any trouble. So again, it's not necessary. However, very, very beneficial. Let's just put it that way. So again, I've probably got months worth of data downloaded myself. So once you actually are connected to your live data and you download your historical data, to actually do market replay, you're going to go into disconnect from your live account, and you're going to go in and connect to the market replay connection. And essentially, it's going to bring up this little controller, and it's going to tell you that you've got, these days worth. And, essentially, I think it's best, just to stay in the week that you're in and just practice that week. But if you want to really go far back, one of the better things to do is to make sure that you've built that chart and you've downloaded, 30 or 60 days worth of data. So, and I've done that for historical data purposes. So let's just say I want to go back to November 6th. Today's December 29th. Now I have to go in and, again, this is a little bit of a tedious process, and you have to do it every time, but you just go into File, New Chart, and, again, let's do gold here. Oops, excuse me. I'll do the continuous contract data. So you have to build your 3 charts that you're going to do your trading on. So again, we have a 5-1 chart. Make sure you've got 30 days back of data. If you just hit DD, it'll take you to the 24/7 default template, or you can use the drop down and select it. You want to make sure you've got that because we want all the data from overnight. And if you want, you can plot your text and markers so you can see where your trades were. And you're going to want to put on your fibs 5-1 red and blue. So you have to go in and, again, you have to build the chart. Hang on, it went to my other monitor. I'll pull it over real quick. All right, so once you have your 5-1 chart, now we've got to build our 14-2 chart. And again, same process. File, new chart, going down to the gold continuous contract because I've got that service. If not, you just go to the month that you're going to trade. I'm going to build a 14-2 chart. Make sure you've got 30 days back. You can always right-click and set default for that time period. Go into the session template. Just hit DD on your chart. It's a little shortcut that'll get you there. And I'm not going to plot the executions on the 14-2. So I'll do 14-2 fibs, red and blue. And then I will say OK. And now I have my 14-2 chart. And again, you can kind of set these up however you see fit or whatever's best for you personally, your personal preference on the look. Oops, I went to my other monitor up above. Bear with me a second. And then, last but not least, you have to go in and you have to build your gold range bar chart, 5 range. Hit DD, makes it default 24/7, and we definitely want to see our executions on the range bar chart. And then, there's a template that's in here that's 5-1 range market flow, and you're going to have 5 range market flow strategy. The only difference is the strategy template doesn't actually plot the market flow indicator, because the market flow strategy itself will plot the indicator. So I'll show you how you're going to get that set up. So take your 5 range chart. I'll just blow it up for you here real quick. And you're going to right click on your chart, and then you're going to left click on strategies. And then once you're in your strategies, you're going to double click on the market flow strategy. And then you're going to set it up. Again, the last page of the user of the trading plan has all of this information, but basically this is my default setup. I don't have the high volume limit entries, but I have reversals, white paint bars, yellow paint bars done, number of dots, 2 and 1. Basically, these are all your default settings that are already in your software. Not doing reversals because basically it's one trade, one direction. And then you'll see you're on your replay account, and then you just turn the system on to true, and then you just say okay. And again, directions for applying templates and running systems are all going to be on your trading plan. So once this comes up, now we're ready to trade, right? We've got 3 charts. And again, I know it's a little bit tedious, but rebuilding the chart each time makes things really much, much easier. So you've got your 3 charts. You can kind of minimize your control screen. And then to get started trading, you're just going to start by, again, you got to follow the rules. So, anytime we've had, let me just speed this up just a little bit so it goes a little faster. Again, anytime we've had, a strong move on our big chart, so you can blow this up, and play it as slow or as fast as you need to. Sometimes early in the morning it's real slow. So you want to define, areas on your chart where we'll have, not only trend trades, but stab backs on your big chart. And again, because we've had a pivot stop out up at the top, as you'll see in the management side of it, we will traditionally come down here and make some new lows. So again, as we start to push down into that area, one of the things that you'll see, or one of the things that we'll do with the software is, again, the execution. And you want to make sure you turn your strategy on. And essentially what we're trying to do is we're trying to say, okay, pivot stop out at the top. We know we want to get down to some lower levels down here, right? So as we start to, and you can fast forward your market replay, and to slow it down to 1x speed, you just click play again. So again, I'm just showing you increasing the speed a little bit, just so we can kind of get to a trade setup here real quick. And again, as you start to trade down into the area that you want to trade, and again, that's why I think it's important that we use these circles and you use the historical studies so you know where and when you're supposed to be putting these trades on. Let me speed it up for you here real quick. All right, once you start moving down into the spot where you want to trade, it's very simple. When you get to the spot, you just want to turn the longs on, and you want to put buy next reversal bar on. Very simple. So if you're doing a long trade, that's it. If you're doing a short trade, just turn the shorts on. And essentially what's going to happen is, as this market replay progresses, if you get to a spot where the trade's going to happen, and you get an up bar, it's going to automatically get you into your trade. So it's going to make the process, again, defining your areas where you'll do your trade with the rules. And again, you can write the rules on your chart. You can just copy paste the rules on your chart. So again, if we get to, we'll just take a look at it. Again, we had a trend trade here. So because we had a pivot stop out, we're looking for another pivot stop out. So again, F12, and you can, again, we're looking for either a trend trade or, the best of all worlds is get to the edge of multiple time frame support. So structurally on your 5-1 chart, that's where you want the rules to be met. Once the rules are met, minimum rules for a trade, then you go to your market flow chart and you turn on the strategy. Right? Now, if we break through the low down here and then we don't want the trade anymore, obviously you should turn the strategy off. As long as we, don't really violate the area where we want the trade from, you really just let the strategy get you in. So I'll kind of speed it up just
Order
a little bit.
pending.
So you'll see we had the strategy on buy next reversal bar, so you can see that the system puts you in, and essentially once you start trading, you're able to go in and actually, move your stops. You can move your targets based on the rules, and you just want to practice. Again, I thought I turned this on, but maybe I didn't. And you just,
Order
again, you
canceled.
want to go through the day and you want to place the trades and you want to practice. And, I have found it best if you take pictures, because after you get done doing market replay for a day, number one, you want to see how much money you made. Number two, you want to double check yourself and make sure that you were doing the right trades with the right rules met. And these are also things that, if you wish, we can review in class. So you can save your pictures with your screencast. You can go into your screencast history and you can save, this is one that we did today. You can save your pictures and you can save your trades and what you were doing and why you were doing it and share them in class and really get feedback from the educator. And then as you go forward, and again, you work your way through trend trade, multiple fib trades, trend trade shorts, and again, it's just get to the spot where the rules are met and turn on the system and let it go. And again, once you've done that, then you've basically allowed the system to do the entries for you. And again, I just turned it off. So
Order
again, and
pending.
you can always do manual trades. Just hit the button if you're not in.
Order filled.
And very, very simple. Again, you want to manage your trades and you want to do it properly. So again, if you're, coming back into an area and you want to buy it, just turn on the automation, right? So we're back to the spot where we want to buy. We're
Order
waiting for a
pending.
reversal bar. The system automatically gets you in without you having to do any thinking. And the system's going to read the market flow. It's going to read how many buyers or sellers were in there. And it's going to dynamically put you into the trade based on all of the criteria that you set up in the inputs. Very, very simple. And then, as the day progresses, you're able to go in and just kind of evaluate, where did you get
Order
in? Where
filled.
did you get out? What was the results of the trades? And, in the end of the day, and again, because you can speed it up through the slow parts, most of the time you're going to be able to do market replay with the strategy and the rules on your chart, and you're going to be able to look at it, after you're done and say, okay, that was a trend trade, and that was the edge of fibs, and this was a trouble spot where we got out, and little pivot stop out got us back in. Again, I'm kind of going fast with that, and you can evaluate where'd you get in, how much did you buy, where did you get out, did you do it right, did you do it wrong? And then again, one of the more important things is labeling your charts with the rules, right? Allowing the strategy to get you into a trade and just becoming comfortable with it. And by the time you get done doing a week, this is, this last week's worth. So $1,500 on the 27th, trading two contracts. $1,700 trading two contracts on the 26th. On the 25th, $1,300 trading two contracts with the rules and the market flow. When you go back to the 25th, and you can say, here was the rules on the 5-1 chart, here was the market flow, $1,300 on a two lot. And essentially, on a two lot, anything in the morning by lunch that's above $800 is going to meet the minimum, kind of goal on what we're looking for you. So you can see this person far exceeded the goal. And I always like to use, clients' pictures too, because it just makes it easy. Again, think about the goals, right? Our goal for you guys is to teach you how to make $400 per day on one contract. You know, whether it's a couple trades on gold, couple trades on crude, just net at the end of the day, averaging $400. Even in a slow market environment, you can see, $1,000 on the 23rd, $1,300 25th, or 26th probably is the trading date. Replay that was done on the 26th, you can see over $800. And, again, building confidence, most important thing, right? So we want you to practice. We want you to read through the plan. We want you to watch the videos. We want you to do market replay. And again, this is kind of the goal for you. You've proven that the trades win, that you've become 100% comfortable with the trades and you follow the rules on the trades. You understand the differences in the different types of trades and managements that you're going to do. Annotate and post your pictures of your trades in class when you're doing them live so we can talk about them live. And again, once you work through these three skills, and it takes a while to kind of work through the process, your trade recognition will be right on, your entry execution will be handled by the automated system, and then the management of your trade will become very easy once you follow the rules. So again, if you have questions, let us know. Really, really important that you not only, go in and watch the videos and study history, right? Like this video talking about how to study trend trades in history. But more importantly, right, you want to be a trader and you want to make money trading, so you have to practice trading and pushing the button. No easier way than market replay. If you do it wrong, look, just back the day back up.
Order canceled.
Right? Go back and, some of the people who've used our software, they'll trade the day, and then, once the day's over, they'll actually just go back to the beginning and do it again. And they'll do it again and again and again until they get it right. And those are the people who end up being the most consistent with our software. So again, you can see, I just put it back on the 6th. It started over. We already know what's going to happen, but we want to make sure that we follow the rules, and that's really the most important thing. And then once you're done with a day and you've got it right and you've followed the rules and you've practiced the execution, go to the next day. So if you've downloaded a whole week's worth of data, just, when you're done with the day, just click on the next day. It'll roll forward, and realistically, over the course of several hours, you should be able to almost day trade a whole week's worth of data. Definitely a much more efficient and, much more repetition for somebody who's new. And, again, you can take it slow if you wish. Most of you guys are very, very motivated to start making real money as quickly as possible, which is great. So the more you practice, the better you're going to be. And market replay and really just rebuilding your charts and doing a whole week's worth of trading every day, absolute best way to start making some money quick. So I appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing everybody in the class. If you have questions, let us know. Otherwise, this is the last day of 2017. You guys have a safe and happy New Year's, and we'll look forward to everybody having an absolutely fantastic 2018.